I've always been a traveler. In fact, I've traveled to over 16 countries around the world. But none of these travels compare to my experiences traveling the astral plane. Experiences that I will be sharing with you. I gotta tell you, I am extremely excited about this episode. This episode deals with time travel, something that's been a fascination of mine since I was small. So let's get into it. I'm going to tell you the story first, tell you what happened, and then after I finish this story, I'm going to get into some of the reasons why this is actually different than astral projection. I'll be reading directly from the notes that I made that day. I closed my eyes. Moments later, I was traveling through a dark rectangular tunnel. I could see a street on the other end. When I came out of the tunnel, I was standing on the sidewalk of a busy two-way street. Cars were crossing on either side. I noticed that these cars were from the late 60s, early 70s. I was so happy because I'd always wanted to time travel, and it appeared that I had. Please note that I wasn't in the form of a spirit. I had a body, though I had no idea what I looked like. I crossed this busy street, cars whipping past, and looked up to the sky as I walked to thank God and those around me for bringing me here. I decided that I needed to get a look at a vehicle registration tag to get an idea of what time period this was. I entered a parking lot. As I walked, I saw two older men talking. One was very scruffy looking, with a beard and a shaved head. He had acne and brown eyes, and he was about the age of 55, 60. I can't remember what the other one looked like, but I do remember that they were speaking a language I didn't understand. The men kept talking as I passed and didn't acknowledge me, or at least that's what I thought. I found a car and took a look at the plates. It was weird because I was unable to recognize the writing on the plate. Very strange, almost as if, I don't know. I knew the letters, had A, B, and C, but they seemed to be in some strange order, mixed up somehow, some way. Perhaps you can think of someone who has dyslexia, where when they see letters, numbers, whatever, and they try to read, everything's in reverse or mixed up. I think that's pretty much what I saw. So they seem to be in this strange order. And when I looked at the year of the registration, I remember the numbers 901. It made no sense. Well, if this was the 1970s, 1960s, 1970s, then 901 makes absolutely no sense. So, as I continued to study the plate, suddenly, someone grabbed me from behind and started hugging me. I would compare it to if someone, a relative, came up behind you and suddenly started hugging you, as if to say they hadn't seen you for a long time. Oh, it's so great to see you. And they were hugging you from behind. It's just that I didn't know who this person was. And as I turned to see who it actually was, I noticed it was the guy with the acne, the one who I thought hadn't seen me, hadn't acknowledged me. It was him. he was the person that was hugging me, and I was pissed. And the reason why I was pissed off was because I knew that because of the suddenness of it, because he just suddenly came out and done that, I knew I would return pretty much instantly, and unfortunately, I did. This trip was way too short. Perhaps it will be longer next time. At the beginning of this episode, I told you that this was something different than astral projection. When I shut my eyes and the vibrations come, instead of leaving my body, I remain inside. And when I do that, I feel this sense of motion. But it's not my soul that I feel moving, it's my body, despite the fact that I'm lying in bed. As I slow down and eventually stop, whatever world it is that I'm arriving in, whatever time, whatever universe, whatever reality reveals itself. And as I walk around, wherever I happen to be, I feel as solid and in the flesh as I do at this very moment. It is a mystery to me and something that we will be getting into much deeper in future episodes. Thank you so much for coming with me on another journey, and until next time, take care.